So I'm out by myself in Indonesia. I met a few girls that I was just hanging out with and like dancing and stuff like that. And some guy comes up, doesn't speak any English, and just shoulder shrugs me. So I was like thinking about taking the dude out, and I was like, just let it go. He stands like maybe 10 feet away and is just staring at me. And finally, I just turned around and I said, you want to go outside? Just walk out. I threw my hat off and I go, you want to do this, man? Let's do it. Throw overhand right and just tag him. And he starts, calls over a bunch of guys. And one of the guys speaks English. I'm like, hey, man, I don't know what this guy's problem is. I'll fight him one-on-one, but blah, blah. And so he communicates. They say, all right. You know, I end up picking him up and dropping him kind of on a planter, and he hits his collarbone, and like that was it. All of a sudden, I get just cheap shot in the back of the head with a pair of brass knuckles. Another guy comes at me with a bottle. Another guy comes at me with a rock. The guy with the brass knuckles is just rabbit punching me in the head. I like take the guy with the bottle and like dump him over a little motorcycle, and then like push the other guy, and I start running back into the club. I'm getting like chased from all over. I end up on my back on the middle of the dance floor, just like getting kicked. Somehow I think some other people started pulling people off or whatever, and like guys are coming at me, and I'm out in the open, clear all the way to the front. There's like a guy at the front, and I just elbowed him and just took off running. I'm like getting further and further from civilization. There's a billabong shop, run into the store, and they're like, no, 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 trying to stop me because I'm like covered in blood or whatnot. I'm like, they're trying to kill me, let me in here, they're trying to kill me. Then in comes the guy with the brass knuckles. Then the guy's got a little shoe hammer now. That there's like 4 of them, and they're all saying one by one, and I'm like begging for my life. Just boom, hit the guy with the hammer and just take off. Start running back towards the club. There's a taxi and then a little van in front of it. So I like run up, jump in the car, and I'm like, go, go, go. I'm screaming at the guy, and he's like freaking out. I'm like bleeding all over him. And then boom, they rip the door open, and I'm like leaning over, kicking guys. The driver apparently gets out to start yelling at people. And I was like, dude, I'm done. Like, thought I was dead for sure. The guy ends up jumping back in the car and just taking off. I look like, you know, Night of the Living Dead. I'm just covered in blood. I had like a hematoma right here. My back was all cut up. Ended up getting, you know, 7 different spots sutured in my head, where I had like cotton balls with thread like here, here, and here, and here. They had a bunch of shaved spots on my long hair. But other than that, I was fine. Like, it was like between 30 and 50 bucks for the whole thing. All the doctors had sandals on, and you know, I slept for the whole next day, and then flew all the way home, and then flew to Japan the next day, and I fought a month and a half later. I went and cornered Olaf Alfonso in Pride. That was a piece of cake after that.